This is Love That Dog, a novel by Sharon Creech. Jack, room 105, Miss Stretchberry. September 13th. I don't want to because boys don't write poetry. Girls do.
September 21st. I tried. Can't do it. Brain's empty.
September 27th. I don't understand the poem about the red wheelbarrow and the white chickens and why so much depends on them. If that is a poem about a red wheelbarrow and white chickens, then any words can be a poem. You just got to make short lines.
October 4th. Do you promise not to read it out loud? Do you promise not to put it on the board? Okay, here it is, but I don't like it. So much depends upon a blue car splattered with mud speeding down the road.
October 10th. What do you mean, why does so much depend upon a blue car? You didn't say before that I had to tell why. The wheelbarrow guy didn't tell why. September 17th. What was up with that Snowy Woods poem you read today? Why doesn't a person just keep going if he's got so many miles to go before he sleeps? And why do I have to tell more about the blue car spattered with mud speeding down the road? I don't want to write about that blue car that had miles to go before it slept. So many miles to go in such a hurry.
October 24th. I am sorry to say that I really did not understand the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem, but at least it sounded good in my ears. Here's the blue car with tiger sounds. Blue car, shining bright in the darkness of the night. Who could see you speeding by like a comet in the sky? I could see you in the night, blue car, shining bright. I could see you speeding by like a comet in the sky. Some of the tiger sounds are still in my ears, like drums. October 31st. Yes, you can put the two blue car poems on the board, but only if you don't put my name on them. November 6th. They look nice typed up like that on blue paper on a yellow board. But still, don't tell anyone who wrote them, okay? And what does anonymous mean? Is it good?
November 9th. I don't have any pets, so I can't write about one, and especially I can't write a poem about one. November 15th. Yes, I used to have a pet, but I don't want to write about it. You're going to ask me why not, right? November 22nd. Pretend that I still have that pet? Can't I make up a pet? A different one? Like a tiger? Or a hamster? A goldfish? Turtle? Snail? Worm? Flea?
November 29th. I like those small poems you read today. When they're small like that, you can read a whole bunch in a short time. And then in your head are all the pictures, all the small things from the small poems. I liked how the kitten leaped in the cat poem, and how you could see the long head of the horse in the horse poem, and especially I liked the dog in the dog poem. Because that's just how my yellow dog used to lie down with his tongue all limp, his chin in between his paws. Now he'd sometimes chomp at a fly, and then sleep in his loose skin, just like that poet Miss Valerie Wood says in her small dog poem.
December 4th. Why do you want to type up what I wrote about reading the small poems? It's not a poem, is it? I guess you can put it on the board if you want to, but don't put my name on it in case other people think it's not a poem.
December 13th. I guess it does look like a poem when you see it typed up like that. But I think maybe it would look better if there was more space between the lines, like how I wrote it the first time. And I like the picture of the yellow dog you put beside it. But that's not how my yellow dog looked.
January 10th. I really did not get the pasture poem you read today. I mean, somebody's going out in the pasture to clean the spring and to get the little tottery calf while he's out there, and he isn't going to be gone long, and he wants you, who is you, to come too. I mean, really. And you said that Mr. Robert Frost, who wrote about the pasture, was also the one who wrote about the snowy woods and the miles to go before he sleeps. Well, I think Mr. Robert Frost has a little too much time on his hands.
January 17th. Remember the wheelbarrow poem you read the first week of school? Maybe the wheelbarrow poet was just making a picture with words, and someone else, like maybe a teacher, typed it up, and then people thought it was a poem because it looked like one typed up like that. And maybe that's the same thing that happened with Mr. Robert Frost. Maybe he was just making pictures with words about snowy woods and pasture, and his teacher typed them up, and they looked like poems, so people thought they were poems. Like how you did with the blue card things and the reading the small poems things. On the board, typed up, they looked like poems. And the other kids are looking at them and they think they really are poems. And they're all saying, who wrote that?
January 24th. We were going for a drive, and my father said, we won't be gone long, you come too. So I went, and we drove and drove until we stopped at a red brick building with a sign in blue letters, Animal Protection Shelter. And inside we walked down a long cement path, past cages with all kinds of dogs, big and small, fat and skinny, some of them hiding in a corner, but most of them barking and jumping up against the wire cage as we walked past, as if they were saying, me, choose me, I'm the best one. And that's where we saw the yellow dog, standing against the cage with his paws curled around the wire and his long red tongue hanging out, and his big black eyes looking a little sad, and his long tail wagging as if he were saying, me, choose me. And we did. We chose him. And in the car, he put his head on my chest and wrapped his paws around my arm as if he were saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the other dogs in the cages get killed dead if nobody chooses them.
January 31st. Yes, you can type up what I wrote about my yellow dog, but leave off the part about the other dogs getting killed dead because it's just too sad. And don't put my name on it, please. And maybe it would look good on yellow paper. And maybe the title should be, You Come Too, February 7th. Yes, it looks good on yellow paper, but you forgot, again, to leave more space between the lines like I did when I wrote it. It's okay though. February 15th. I like that poem we read today about street music in the city. My street's not in the middle of the city, so it doesn't have that loud music of horns and trucks, clash, flash, screech. My street's on the edge of the city, and it has quiet music most of the time. Swish. My street is a thin one, with houses on both sides, and my house is the white one with the red door. There's not too much traffic on my street, not like in the middle of the city. We play in the yards and sometimes in the street, but only if a grown-up or the big kids are out there too, and they'll shout, car, if they see a car coming down the street. At both ends of our street are yellow signs that say caution, children at play. Sometimes the cars pay no attention and speed down the road as if they're in a big hurry with many miles to go before they sleep. February 21st. It was so great. Those poems you showed us where the words make the shape of the thing the poem is about, like the one about an apple that was shaped like an apple, and the one about the house that was shaped like a house. My brain was popping when I was looking at those poems. I never knew that a poet person could do that funny kind of thing. February 26th. I tried one of those poems that looks like what it's about. My Yellow Dog by Jack. Body, 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 body. Yellow, yellow, tail, tail, yellow, yellow. Whack, whack, whack. Leg, 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 paw. Leg, 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 paw. Head, 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 head. Ear. Head, head, nose, nose. Sniff, 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 sniff. Slobber, slobber, slobber.
March 1st. Yes, you can type up a yellow dog poem that looks like a dog, but this time keep the spaces exactly the same, and maybe it would look really, really good on yellow paper. Maybe you could put my name on it, but only if you want to. Only if you think it looks good enough. March 7th. I was a little embarrassed when people said things to me like, "Neat poem, Jack," and "How'd you think of that, Jack?" And I really, really liked the one you put up about the tree that's shaped like a tree, and not a fake-looking tree, but a real tree with straggly branches. But I want to know, who is the anonymous poet in our class that wrote that? And why didn't he or she want to put his or her name on it? Was it like me when I didn't think my words were poems? Maybe you will tell the anonymous tree poet that his or her tree poem is really a poem, really, really, and a good poem too.
March 14th. That was the best poem you read yesterday by Mr. Walter Dean Myers. Best poem ever. I'm so sorry I took the book home without asking. I only got one spot on it. That's why the page is torn. I tried to get the spot out. I copied that best poem and I hung it on my bedroom wall right over my bed where I can see it when I'm lying down. Maybe you could copy it too and hang it on the wall in our class where we can see it when we are sitting at our desks doing our stuff. I sure like that poem by Mr. Walter Dean Myers called Love That Boy because of two reasons I liked it. One is because my dad calls me in the morning just like that. He calls, "Hey there, son." And also because when I had my yellow dog, I loved that dog. And I would call him like this. I'd say, "Hey there, Sky." His name was Sky.
March 22nd. My yellow dog followed me everywhere. Every which way I turned, he was there, wagging his tail and slobber coming out of his mouth when he was smiling at me all the time as if he was saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for choosing me." And jumping up on me with his shaggy, straggly paws on my chest like he was trying to hug the insides right out of me. And when us kids were playing outside kicking the ball, he'd chase after it and push it with his nose, push, 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 and getting slobber all over the ball. But no one cared because he's such a funny dog. That dog Sky, that straggly, furry, smiling dog Sky. And I'd call him every morning, every evening, "Hey there, Sky."
March 27th. Yes, you can type up what I wrote about my dog Sky, but don't type up the other secret one I wrote. The one all folded up in the envelope with the tape on it. That one uses too many of Mr. Walter Dean Myers' words. Maybe Mr. Walter Dean Myers would get mad about that. April 4th. I was very glad to hear that Mr. Walter Dean Myers is not the sort of person who would get mad at a boy for using some of his words. And thank you for typing up my secret poem, one that uses so many of Mr. Walter Dean Myers' words. And I like what you put at the top. Inspired by Mr. Walter Dean Myers. Now that sounds good to my ears. No one will think I just copied because I couldn't think of my own words. They will know I was inspired by Mr. Walter Dean Myers. But don't put it on the board yet, okay? Is Walter Dean Myers a live person? And if he is, do you think he could ever come to our city, our school, to our class? If he did, we should hide my poem and hide it real good just in case he would get mad about that. April 9th. No. I can't do it. You should do it. You're a teacher. April 12th. I don't agree that Mr. Walter Dean Myers might like to hear from a boy who likes his poems. I think Mr. Walter Dean Myers would like to hear from a teacher who uses big words and knows how to spell